Well, hello, everybody. It's Brother Todd with your Victory Minute, and I hope you guys and gals out there all having a great day, and I hope if you live in these parts of the world, you're warm and dry. It's gotten pretty wet and getting a little icy. Roads are getting a little bit slick. In fact, if you hadn't heard already, I'm about to walk in that office and let them know we're going to cancel tonight's services and close down the campus. They talking about icy rain coming in tonight, about a 40% chance of it, maybe 50. And we just got too many old folks and teenage drivers driving around. No offense to the teenage driver out there. I just know when I was 16, I could be a little bit squirrely behind the wheel when you get around some ice. But anyhow, I'm sure y'all do a better job than I did. But we're going to go ahead and play the safe side. And in fact, the way to secure no ice, snow, or any accumulation of any kind is for Brother Todd to cancel services. Everybody be riding me like a rented mule on Sunday about being a chicken and all that kind of stuff. It never fails. If I wash my truck, it'll rain. And if I don't cancel service, we'll be on a sheet of ice at 8:30 tonight. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and cancel. That ain't what I was doing this Victory Minute for, by the way. I had something else in my mind. I come out here and make this minute. They're all busy in the office. And so I come out here and sit in the truck where it's kind of warm. Anyhow, what I want to talk to you about today is being able to make decisions under pressure. This week, this Sunday in Life Group here at the campus and what we'll be putting out online in our Life Groups is we've been studying Joshua. And Joshua is one of the best studies you'll ever do in leadership. Joshua and Nehemiah, I think, are two people you really, if you're in a position where you're a parent, you're an employer, you got a business, you're trying to, something where you're a pastor, whatever, you're trying to get people to go with you, right? You know, he who thinketh he leadeth and has no one following is only taking a walk. They say it's an old Chinese proverb, but I think some preacher come up with it somewhere. Probably somewhere in California or something. Pretty good saying. But anyway, if the ability to make good decisions when you're under pressure, and you can't let pressure dictate your decision making. Now it intensifies things. Okay. That's why high pressure sales to a certain degree work. You go to the car lot to buy that, and everybody's on you like a set of pit bulls trying to chase you down, get there, trying to put that pressure. If we don't have two things established, I want to talk to you about today. One is your priorities. Two, your principles. If you don't have those things established, you don't know exactly what you want to do. You don't know exactly what you're willing to spend. You don't know exactly what you got. You don't know exactly what things are worth. When you walk into an environment you're not sure of and people start applying the pressure to you, well, what do? You make a bad choice, okay? We used to say in sports, we used to have this saying back in the 80s, pressure busts the pipe. Pressure busts the pipe. And if you'll just keep putting on pressure, somebody's going to mess up. I always told everybody, I said, if I was a high school basketball coach, I'd run a full court press all the time. I'm telling you, the superintendent would have to force me to pull off a press to get off of somebody, because that pressure, you put pressure on 15-year-old point guard, he's apt to mess up. He probably not Magic Johnson just yet. My son-in-law comes out of the Salina coaching trio, G.A. Moore and all them guys, and they run that 10-1 defense. Boy, I'm going to tell you something. You ain't ever seen them out there on the field with it. Boy, in them small schools, and really even some of the bigger ones, boy, they bring it, man. Here it comes. That pressure's coming. That 16, 17-year-old quarterback got to make a decision right now and in a hurry. Well, that's what it's there for. It's there to apply great pressure. And if you're not sure, well, you mess up. Okay? And that can happen in life. Situation on with your kids, situation on business decision you got to make, that pressure's there. I'm going to tell you something. You got more time than you think, one. And if you've got your priorities and your principles established, then you naturally operate out of that position. And if you've really got them grounded and founded, then even though there's pressure, even though maybe emotions are involved, you can do the scriptural thing, you can do the right thing, you can do the best thing, you can do the thing that's going to have the best long-term effect. The right thing will always have the best long-term effect, okay? It may not be the easiest way out, but it'll always have the best way. But how do you know that when everything's swirling? I get emergency calls every day. I have emergency counseling sessions all the time, and most of them will involve some kind of pressure where somebody's trying to make a decision. Okay. Now, sometimes it's hard to see the best way. You can have two right ways and figuring out the best way. Okay. And that's where discernment and those kinds of things has to come in. But if you don't have your principles set, okay, if you don't have your principles set, you're going to veer off. Using sports as an analogy, since I've talked about it a little bit, I was blessed. I was one of those guys kind of on offense in football. I was kind of a utility player. I played everything. In high school. I played everything from offensive line to quarterback, running back, receiver, you name it. And when I played quarterback, I had a tendency. I'd come up kind of as a running back, so I had a tendency whenever I felt pressure to run. Well, they tried to teach me about sitting in the pocket and all that kind of stuff. But boy, if I felt that pressure, I'd go. See, I never really established the principle of feel the pressure, step up into the hole, keep looking downfield, and throw the ball. And as a result, okay, my starting career as a quarterback was 3 games long. We had a running threat whether we handed the ball off or we backed up to pass, because as soon as I felt pressure, I was going. I never embraced. The offensive linemen would just be ragging me because, like I say, I'd played line too. So, they'd just be ragging on me. Man, you got to step in the pocket. Look, we watching it on film, and I'm like, no, there wasn't no pocket. And then he'd watch it on film, and there'd be, right? It just, man, I'm telling you, I'd never embraced, catch me now, the concept. So when the pressure got on, I took off. I did what seemed natural. Now, that'll get you, because what seems natural ain't always the best thing. We live in a world today where everybody is excusing every kind of sin in the world, saying, well, it's natural. Well, guys, there's all kinds of things that's natural to fallen flesh that ain't best. It's just not the best way, okay? And just because it naturally occurs don't mean it's the best way to do things. I mean, naturally, I'm watching some of our younger folks, our teachers and stuff, handling these younger folks back there in the school. You let those 2- and 3-year-olds do what they naturally feel like doing, I'm going to tell you what's going to get bloody back here. All right? Think with me, okay? Think about it a minute. Establish your principles. Old Joshua, he's trying to put pressure on him, man. It didn't matter. He had to take care of the things of the Lord first. We're going to be talking about that Sunday. I hope you get to come. I know this old COVID's got us all messed up, but at 9 o'clock, if you're around here, hit life groups. Time to get back in. You need people. We need people. The worst thing that anybody ever said around here was to socially distance. We should have physically distanced during this pandemic, but that social distancing was the worst thing ever happened to us. People got separated off. Old devil's got the herd busted up, and he is slaughtering the lambs, I'll guarantee you. Anyhow, get your priorities established. That occurs through your study, it occurs through things you're committed to the things you're convinced of, the things in the Word of God that you are sure are true, they're right, even though they're not the way maybe you were brought up, maybe they're not the way it seems natural, but you are willing to change so that when the pressure comes on, you respond in the proper direction. You got to get those principles established and establish your priorities. Make the things of the Lord, make the things that matter, make your family, make your relationships, prioritize them in your life. You will have to, it's talking about natural. Naturally, we prioritize self. And if you don't think that's the truth, you watch any bad thing that happens, any emergency happens out in the world, watch the film, the YouTube stuff that comes out of it, and all the camera phones, and you watch people. I've seen people, like, I remember that mass shooting thing they had there in Vegas, and you just see people just running for their lives. Okay, you said, Brother Todd, sounds natural. In that group, there were people helping. In that group, there were people thinking. In that group, there were people stopping. They were working it through. They were helping people move here, do that. It's kind of like, you think of like first responders and stuff, firemen. I come out of the fire service. Everybody's running from a fire. There's a certain set of men will run towards it, right? Think about it. You have to be able to, when you establish your priorities, when somebody else matters more than you do, then you will operate out of that set of priorities. You prioritize those kids. You do what they need. Talking about life group. Kids need life group. Your kids need that life group. They need that socially stable group Okay. You got to realize in public school right now, our kids are almost, I mean, they're just almost turned loose to the wolves now. You've got to establish, you've got to what? You've got to prioritize it. You following me? Boy, I feel like I'm rambling about today. Maybe I am, because I am getting a little chilly. I've had this truck off for a while. If it's running, you can't hear anything. So my toes are cold, and hopefully you got this. Set you some principles. Get you some principles that you've embraced. All right? Get in that Bible and find them. They're there. You ain't got to look all over the world for them. God laid them down for us. I'm telling you, it works. And prioritize them. Prioritize the things of God. Prioritize the people of God. Prioritize your family, okay? And I'm telling you, what it'll do is it'll get you to where you walk on firm footing. And then when that pressure comes on, you immediately respond, not perfectly all the time, but properly. All right. Hey, have a great day and stay safe. And those of y'all around here, remember, ain't none of us know how to drive on ice. So watch what you're doing. Bye-bye.